Good afternoon and welcome to the beautiful Waikato. I'm standing on the banks of this famous river for an event they simply call the Gallagher Great Race. It was established 9 years ago and it features 4 of the very best university rowing crews in the world. The men's race, they race for the Harry Mahon Memorial Trophy, and this year it is the turn of Cambridge University. Now they've been down here on 4 occasions in the past and the score between the two great rivals is currently 2-2. In the women's race, the Waikato Women's 8 take on the girls from Sydney University. 3.8 kilometres of nothing but sheer and pure pain.
Crossing over now, boys. Legs and back. Legs and back.
Come on, you're in the clear water. Bring me up. Now.
Yeah, Cambridge. Good.
Close up these legs now. This is your strength. We're going to take it right to the end.
Not yet. Get ready. Speed on the catch. Go.
Today, the stretch of the Waikato River that runs through the centre of town moves into the spotlight. International crews from around the world regard this as the most gruelling race in the world. Later on, the men will contest for the Harry Mahon Trophy, and in terms of rowing, Harry Mahon was a man that brought these two nations together. He led the New Zealand Rowing 8 to the World Championships in 1982 and 1983. A wee stint with Switzerland saw him then move to the UK, where he overtook the Cambridge rowing programme, and in 1993 he ended the 17-year winning streak of Oxford University.
He changed the tide, which is one of the hardest things to do, to change the tide in the boat race. So, when people talk about him, it's always of legendary status.
And that's one thing I've been trying to instill into the boys over this last week especially, is just what Harry Mahon meant to the Waikato, particularly the Waikato Rowing Club and New Zealand rowing.
First though, we start with the Brian Gould Cup this afternoon, the women's match-up between the University of Waikato and Sydney University. It's 1 win each between these two great crews. Let's check out the crew for the University of Waikato for today's race. At Cox it is Morgan Steele, number 8 in stroke Alice Pulford, Odette Skeets, Erin Tolhurst, Kate Raymer, Regan Barkler, Kayla Pratt, Bridget Van Hooven, Chloe McFarland. But the two most important people today, in terms of the outcome, possibly their captain Erin Tolhurst and their Cox Morgan Steele.
I know where all the currents are, know where to call the pieces, know where to cross, and know what to watch out for. Like the river, it's pretty unpredictable unless you know it, and I know it pretty well.
A lot of rowers are not experienced on the rivers, so you can get a huge advantage by practicing on it. And I'm lucky enough to have done the race last year. A few of the other girls have too, so we pretty much have got the hang of it.
The women's crew from Sydney University has plenty of experience. It is the stroke Bronwyn Watson, a former world rowing champion, Beatrix Sheldricks, Charlotte Walters, Emma Costello, Ashley Pepinell, Sarah Sackville, Chloe O'Regan, Grace Mitchell are the 8 that make up this crew.
3 of the girls actually raced last year, so they've been wording us up on how the river kind of works, but the other 5 of us are quite new to it, obviously. And our coxswain is trying very, very hard to get up to speed quickly on how to steer around corners and not get swept away by the current.
The teams met earlier in the week for the traditional indoor matchup. It's always a good indicator of who will have the strongest crew on the day. The home team draws first blood and the balance of power tips towards the University of Waikato. Not a lot can be predicted though on this result. Sitting inside on a row machine simply has no comparison to the real deal of taking on the might of the Waikato River. Magnificent aerial shots of the beautiful Waikato River. We are moments away from the start in our first event, and that